Mama, why do you smile at rain? The little girl's voice cut through silence. Her mother knelt down, brushing flour-dusted hands. Because rain always comes back home, sweetheart. 15 years had passed like falling leaves. Magnolia Reed stood behind her cafe counter, pouring fresh coffee. The scent of cinnamon rolls filled the air. She had built this place brick by brick. Every table told a story of survival. Her daughter, Clementine, sat coloring by the window. The 5-year-old had eyes like midnight. Her laughter was the cafe's sweetest music. Customers often asked about Clementine's father silently. Magnolia's smile would tighten just a bit. The bell above the door chimed softly. Magnolia looked up automatically. A man in an expensive charcoal suit. His presence commanded the humble space. Silver threads ran through his dark hair. His face carried lines of distant pain. Fletcher Ashwood stopped at the cafe entrance. Something pulled him here, against all logic. He built empires across 3 continents. Money flowed like endless rivers, yet emptiness gnawed at his chest daily. For years, fragments haunted his dreams. A woman's laugh, the scent of jasmine, a home he couldn't quite remember. His therapist, Dr. Waverly, walked beside him. "This town feels familiar to you, Fletcher." "Every street whispers something I've forgotten," Fletcher said, hands trembling. They entered the cafe quietly. Magnolia glanced up at the new customers. Her breath caught sharp. The rag slipped from her frozen fingers. Those eyes. She knew those eyes intimately. Fletcher looked around the warm space. Something tugged deep within his fractured memory. The walls were painted soft cream. Photographs hung in mismatched frames. One showed a young couple laughing wildly. His feet moved toward it without thought. "Can I help you, gentlemen?" Magnolia's voice cracked slightly. Fletcher turned. Their eyes met across the distance. The world tilted on its axis. Time collapsed into a single, breathless moment. Clementine looked up from her coloring book. She studied the tall stranger with curiosity. Something in his face made her small heart recognize him. "Daddy!" The word fell like a stone. The cafe went completely silent. Magnolia's knees nearly buckled. Dr. Waverly caught Fletcher's arm as he swayed. The little girl stood up slowly. She walked toward Fletcher with innocent certainty. "Clementine, sweetheart, come here," Magnolia whispered. But the child reached for Fletcher's hand. "You have Mama's wedding picture eyes." Fletcher knelt to the girl's level. Tears blurred his vision suddenly. "What's your name, little one?" "Clementine Ashwood Reed. Mama says I'm named after strong trees." Ashwood. The name hit Fletcher like lightning. Memories crashed through the walls he built. A small apartment with peeling paint. A woman who refused to leave home. An argument that ended in desperate kisses. A promise to return before the baby came. Magnolia. Her name escaped his lips. She pressed a hand over her mouth. Tears streamed down her face. "They said you died in the accident." I couldn't remember anything for 10 years. The doctors pieced my mind back slowly. Dr. Waverly stepped forward gently. Fletcher's memories returned gradually over 5 years. We've been searching for his past systematically. "You left for that job in Singapore." Magnolia's anger surfaced. "You chose money over us." "I chose our future," Fletcher said softly. "I wanted to end our suffering." "We weren't suffering. We were together, Fletcher." Her words carried years of pain. "I had everything I needed." Clementine tugged her mother's apron. "Mama, don't cry. Daddy came home." The simple truth from innocent lips shattered them. Fletcher reached out one trembling hand. Magnolia stared at it for long seconds. Then she placed her hand in his. "I thought you abandoned us. I believed you chose wealth instead." "Never." Fletcher pulled photographs from his wallet. Their wedding day in a courthouse, her pregnant belly cradled lovingly. He carried these through the darkness. Magnolia pulled an envelope from her apron. Inside were the same photos, worn soft. "I showed Clementine every night. I told her you were watching somehow." Fletcher looked at his daughter with wonder. "You've grown up without me, sweet girl. But you're here now. That's what matters most." The cafe patrons watched in silence. Some wiped tears away quietly. Mrs. Chen smiled. "Some love waits lifetimes to come home. I built everything you see in magazines. Towers, companies, wealth beyond our dreams." He paused. "But I'd trade it all for yesterday." "You can't have yesterday, Fletcher." Magnolia's tears fell freely. "But perhaps we can build tomorrow together." Clementine wedged herself between her parents. "Can Daddy stay for pancakes?" Magnolia laughed through her tears. "Yes, baby, Daddy can stay." They sat together at the corner booth. Fletcher's expensive suit looked absurd against vinyl, but his smile was the richest treasure. Magnolia served pancakes with shaking hands. Clementine chattered about her drawings and school. "Why didn't you remarry?" Fletcher asked quietly. "Because my heart was already taken." Magnolia touched the simple chain around her neck. His grandmother's ring hung there. "I couldn't love someone halfway." "I'm sorry. I'm so deeply, endlessly sorry." "I know. I felt it in my bones." As afternoon light filtered through windows, Fletcher watched Magnolia work with practiced grace. Clementine fell asleep against his shoulder. His hand stroked her hair with instinct. "What happens now?" Magnolia asked when closing time came. "I don't know," Fletcher admitted. "But I'm not leaving without you. We can't just pick up like before. You're a stranger to our daughter." "Then let me become familiar," he pleaded. "One day, 1 hour, 1 moment at a time." Magnolia locked the cafe door. The three stood on the sidewalk together. Clementine stirred, rubbing sleepy eyes. "Daddy, will you read to me tonight?" she asked with pure hope. Fletcher looked at Magnolia with silent question. She nodded once, opening a door carefully. That evening, in the small apartment overhead, Fletcher read fairy tales to his daughter. His voice cracked on happy endings. Magnolia watched from the doorway, arms crossed. Her heart warred with caution and hope. After Clementine slept, they sat together. Coffee grew cold between them. Years stretched in the space neither crossed. "I don't trust easy anymore," Magnolia said. "Life taught me walls keep hearts safe." "I understand completely," he replied gently. "I'm not asking for immediate forgiveness." "What are you asking for then?" "A chance," he said simply, "to prove that love brought me back home." Magnolia studied his face in lamplight. Age had carved him into someone new. But underneath, she saw the boy who'd promised forever once. "Okay," she whispered, taking the risk. "But slowly, Fletcher. We do this slowly." He smiled, and it transformed his face. "However long it takes, Magnolia, I'm home. Because kindness always finds its way home."